Oh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. And today we're gonna give tips on construction.
That's right. The little guy came up with this really, really cool cargo spaceship made from this plastic toy drill we showed off in the announcement show at the beginning of the month. It was really easy.
He had no idea how we were gonna do it.
I barely saw, honestly, what he was thinking and seeing. So this is all on him. This is all his idea. I helped out with a few little ideas. I don't know if you can see the light up engine. Little guy's gonna turn the light down so you can see
Yeah, you can see it.
the exhaust. Wanted to give it something, futuristic instead of just like a rocket engine. To me, it's very reminiscent of the old Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon movie serials from before I was born. I did actually watch them as a kid. They were on TV on the weekends from time to time, and I would watch them. And, as hokey as they were, they still were very inspirational in my upbringing. And we're going to actually show you how we did it and make a second one. Let's rip this open.
We found this obviously at the Dollar Tree. Originally, I just saw it and somehow knew that we could make a spaceship out of it. Because he said that he wanted to do he wanted this month to be less military, because we did that last month, or at least the last sci-fi month we did, had a lot of military-esque stuff.
Right.
Well, both of the sci-fi months we did had a lot of that. But she wanted to do something different, which is why the cars, the speeders, were just civilian, non-military, which is why I decided to make this a cargo ship.
Could make a blaster out of it.
You always go there.
Yeah. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart. A couple of screws, actually 5 of them.
Yeah.
And you want to start on the exhaust?
Sure. The way we did the exhaust was the same way we did all the other fires, or almost the same way. I just made the fire. He did everything else on that exhaust. Yeah. I didn't even see him do it.
Yeah, he just made a wall of fire like he usually does, and then I just shaped it until it would fit in the hole that you'll see in just a moment.
I assume the way the toy was designed was just to have some sort of spinny thing to put in nails to this wood thing that's also there, which I don't think we can use for anything.
Actually, you know what?
Maybe we might.
This
Screws, but
this piece, I don't remember this piece being in the first set we bought.
It was. Well, actually,
this was.
I think they were both there.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Actually, no, I think there was a different one.
Yeah, just this.
I think there was 2.
Well, now we've got 2 and some extra pieces that we'll throw in the bits boxes for later. I'm sure we'll find a use for them someday. We save all of our junk.
So the way...
Have to save the screws.
Yes, because then it's the only thing you can use to screw them back together. I mean, the screws, once the whole thing's finished, you're not going to be able to... You can technically unscrew it again, but we won't.
Yeah, I think I filled some of the holes with milliput.
Well, yes, you did fill some of the holes, but I filled some of the holes where turrets went, or just 2 of them, actually. 2 of the holes for the screws, I just put guns there. Because he wanted to put a gun on it, a really big one, which
screws, I forgot about these ones.
He wanted, and probably will on that one, to put a gun on it, which I didn't really want to do. I'd rather just put smaller turrets.
Right, and the turrets were these tiny little... Let's show these off while we're talking about it.
Because I wanted it to be more just like a self-defense thing against pirates, and not have something that seems very military grade.
We got these little turrets
on the top.
I'm not sure if they were from a Babylon 5 set or a Battlefleet Gothic set, but there's 4 we can use right away. Yeah, just make it a little thicker at the base, just so it's a little bit sturdy.
Like this?
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant that way, yeah. Because I had to trim a lot of it off.
Okay. Do the whole thing?
No. Because I end up melting off a lot of those really pointy pieces at the end. Just to get this sort of, smaller shape.
Oh yeah, we put rocks in that
to balance it.
Yeah. Instead of just putting a weight in there, he just filled it with rocks instead.
Yeah.
Which actually did work, as you can see, because before, with all this is a teolite, and if you rest the engine, it weighed it down, and we put rocks in it, and that fixed the problem.
There's a couple of interesting little parts in here, some gears for some sort of steampunk thing we can save later.
Yeah.
Maybe a spring. You never know. You never know. But we'll put those off to the side. And then these two pieces. You know what? Since you're done with that, you want to do what you did before?
Yes.
I'll take this and actually unplug it from this contraption.
So you take the hot knife, which we already made a video about, and you might be able to see this line right here. There's a line right here that separates the handle from the rest of the drill. Not sure if you can see it. It is right. It's right there. You can see it. And you just want to cut across that line with the hot knife.
Put it on the plate or something so you have a little more stability, because I don't want you to actually end up going to the hospital during this video. Not like the last video.
Oh.
I'm kidding. It's never happened, folks. Safety first.
Yeah, I went to the hospital after the video.
Now there's one part of this video I'm not going to be able to do on camera. I just yanked this piece out here.
Oh yeah.
There's a piece of plastic holding this metal bar in there. I'm just gonna, just work. Maybe I can use these clips. No.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get this. I'll just do it off the camera. You want to use that line to measure, and once you've actually fully cut through it. We originally wanted to preserve this thing right here, but we realized it probably would have been possible looking back, but it wasn't really worth it. Doesn't do much. We wanted to use it to, because obviously we need to seal up this gap, which we will show you how we will do that.
Which was actually really funny story. We both had the exact same idea, independent of each other, of how to build this undercarriage. And a lot of you might recognize it as a very famous Final Faction accessory. And we just glued that on the bottom like that.
In reality, the only difference we had is the way we were going to.
Yeah, I wanted to put it like this, so that these look like sort of repulsors or something like that, to give it some lift up, off the ground. But it actually fits better like this when the cutting is done.
Yeah.
But from the side, you really can't tell that that's what it is. This profile here. But we both had the exact same idea of what to put in this big cavity. You'll see in just a moment when he's finished cutting that piece apart.
Yeah, you also obviously need to file many things.
You'll need to file some stuff, and you'll need some milliput, and those details we're gonna, sort of gloss over. Now this part right here, in order to get it to light up, because we're gonna use a tea light, blue. You could use another color if you want.
The color never really.
And you can even leave it on there maybe, but as you see, there's a bunch of plastic in the way, and in order to get this a clear pathway, I just use my Dremel tool and a grinding tool attachment, and I just ground the heck. And I just ground the heck out of it. I just, drilled it out basically, so that the light will shine through.
Where do I place this?
You gonna do the next one?
Oh, okay.
And so now you can see. You know what? I could maybe get this to work, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. The only issue with that.
But we're gonna go with the same thing so that they look like they're the same.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And we'll just glue this piece right in here to cover up the hole that's going to be here from the handle. Initially, we wanted to try to use the handle and glue it like this or something, but it just didn't seem to
look right.
Yeah, it looked too much like just a handle or a base. And we thought about basing this miniature on something, on a flight stand, but it's really just too heavy. And
especially with rocks in it.
well, yeah, to keep it balanced. Now,
and even when it's flying through space, that isn't needed.
so this piece
I mean, we still painted.
we'll glue into here. You're going to want to use hot glue because we tried with super glue 4 times,
Yeah.
and it just keeps popping off. The 2 plastics and the super glue they're not
I
friendly.
believe that might be what hot glue is best for.
Right. Well, I was watching. I forget. I think it was that new guy I told you about that I was watching that video for A Billion Suns, and he explained how that was the different plastics. Either he or someone in the comments section suggested using hot glue. He said he only uses super glue, and I'll try to find his YouTube handle and put it in the description. But basically, these 3 pieces are going to go together like that with the flame exhaust there. Ooh, you okay?
Yeah.
You almost pierced my ear there, buddy.
Okay.
Now he's gonna put that away because we're done
That's
with it.
kind of hard to look. You have this.
Oh, here, just give it to me and I'll.
It's for some reason wrapped around the chair.
Because the extension cord wouldn't fit all the way there. Now go ahead and hit the dial.
No, it's wrapped around
Yeah.
the chair.
So it wouldn't accidentally fall. But just turn the dial off. I'll screw these pieces back in. I hope I got the right screws. I think they're all the same.
So just unplug it.
If you want, that's fine.
Still not. Oh, you're just screwing it back together.
Yeah.
So now that you have that, and obviously once you're screwing it together, you obviously, I believe the first time we used the accelerator, but obviously that didn't work because
For the super glue? Yeah.
yeah, the super.
Yeah.
Are we still using Are we still using super glue on this? Or are we using hot glue on this too?
No, I use super glue on all these pieces here. And can you hand me this super glue?
Yes.
And when I need to line something up, like gluing 2 round pieces together, and I know they're not perfect, I just try to look straight down. I'm gonna put a lot of super glue in here just so it'll drip.
Have you cut out the hole yet?
Oh, you're right. I didn't do that. Why am I doing that? I don't know. Yeah, never mind,
So I got
folks.
super glue somewhere.
Yeah, well, it'll
So
just
you're
drip.
going. Oh yeah, you're going to need to use the hot knife or something.
Yeah, I tried the hot knife and it just won't go in there.
Really? Then what was it used?
I used my Dremel, my drill. It's like a drill,
Okay.
and I just ground out the inside of it. But
You place that just where it would be on the regular drill. Place the teolite, and we used blue tack, which is very visible. Which I.
oh yeah,
wish it
let's basically once all the pieces are together, you're going to be looking at something like that.
Which you can see there.
And because it is a tea light, like you said, in order to be able to turn it on and off, what we just did, like you
Some
said,
blue tack, which
Some-
is
I use-
visible, which I
I
don't
use-
really like.
yeah, we could actually just paint this outside edge silver, or even another color. But I just used a
I
bit of
painted,
this.
like, yellow or purple.
I just used a
Go
bit of
for it.
this, and I actually did super glue the blue tack down. I can still get the battery out, and I can turn the switch on and off. But because this is soft and sticky, I can then just put it back on.
So we might paint it, but that might damage it. I don't know.
Oh, it's the other one. I was like, why is it still glowing? It's because I left this one on.
Yeah.
And
And-
just eyeball it. Stick it
find a
in.
way to get it to line up the way you want, and
Voila.
find a way to weight it.
Yeah,
Rocks might not be the best choice, but they worked.
Yeah, it was just, we realized after we put it all together that it was top heavy and it was falling back. I mean, it was bottom heavy. It was like this, and we didn't want that. So let's put everything more or less kind of together. Sort of a dry fit there. And right here, when you attach these two pieces, however,
There may or may not, and most likely there will be
A little-
gap, which could be sealed with super glue,
right, one side we were able to actually hide that gap with just a bunch of super glue and
which
accelerate.
only worked because we used the accelerator. So get
But
that.
the other
The
side,
other side,
just for whatever reason, it
I
just
think it was because I was trying to smooth it out, but I made it too small, which resulted in the gap not being small enough for the super glue to connect both sides. Because once it gets big enough, it will just go to one side and then drip down.
And
But
you
if
could
it's
even,
small enough,
if you don't want to use the tea light, if that's, not your style or what have you, you could even, just glue it together like that.
which was originally the plan.
Or you could glue it like we did, and you'll just cut off about a half
Which
inch.
almost looks better, but
We wanted the tea light, and we could have possibly tried to insert the tea light
I
here.
actually like it with this extra bit right there.
Yeah, it just makes it look just a little bit more, just larger. We wanted to make
Yeah. The frigate, or freighter, sorry.
just some sort of big, heavy cargo hauling starship. Not quite the Nostromo or Red Dwarf, but something big. Hold it up for the camera and let's say goodnight.
Are we gonna turn on the lights?
You want to turn the lights off one last time? Oh, you want to turn the lights on first?
Yeah.
Let them hit the switch.
Then you just find where it looks good.
Oh, we've got one last little detail that I really
This
kind
good?
of like. Yeah, that's fine. But show off the cargo door.
Oh yeah, he wanted, which I didn't know how we can do it originally, but he wanted to put a cargo door, which we did. But originally, I didn't like the idea because we couldn't find one that worked. And the one we did find, this one, was very flat.
Yeah.
So
it's
it
basically
didn't bend.
a certain brand of orange juice. It comes in a big bottle, and it's got a sort of a safety cap underneath the
Yeah.
regular cap,
For some reason.
and you just pry it off and throw it away normally. And I think it says Nestle or something like that on the other side.
Which is why I was almost contemplating flipping it over.
So we flipped it over, and
Even
I sanded the Nestle side until I could bend it, kind of
Because
like that.
originally it was
really flat and straight. But we managed to get it in there, and I think
Which
it
I
worked
think-
really nicely as a cargo door. Unfortunately, we have to drink a whole other gallon of orange juice before we can get another one of those cargo doors.
Yeah, that's true.
But there you have it, folks. Let's get the light off one last time, and little guy can zoom it around the house before bed.
You can kind of see a bit of light shining through, which I think looks good.
Yeah, it all in all, I'm gonna hand it to the little guy. This was all his idea. It was all on him. I was thinking something completely different for this month, but
What
we
were you
did.
even thinking of?
I don't even remember now. It was
Oh.
so long ago. But we wanted this to be less, like the little guy said, military, sci-fi. Just civilian, corporations. Nothing too camouflaged or heavy weapons. We didn't even put guns on the speeders.
Yeah.
We might put a couple little guns on them, but I really like the idea of everything just this month being, not necessarily non-violent, but just a little bit more.
And this thing does still have guns on it.
Right,
but-
right. And when I do mine, I'm actually going to put a missile rack here.
Mm.
Just take some toothpicks and stack them up and make it look like it's a missile rack. Just because, I like missiles. What can I say? I like laser guns too. We've been through that in one of the last videos. There you have it though. Little guy really knocked it out of the park this time, I think. Really proud of him, and I'd love to see your guys' take on this one. If you do in fact build a spaceship and poke your father's eye out with it, let us
I
know
almost
in the
did that.
comment section.
I didn't even realize.
And we will see you guys real soon. This Sunday, little guy's going to be finishing off the Mecha Dragon. I'll be painting some more Star Schlock. Until then, folks, have a great weekend. We love you guys, and we'll see you real soon.
I'm guessing we already did this joke too many times and it's resulted in failure. Good night.
Good night, everybody.